I told you about FBI Director Kash Patel snorkeling in Pearl Harbor amongst the remains of our fallen in a solemn area, and how disrespectful and disgusting that was. This person says, was it legal? That should be the only question. So let's deal with that part first. For the general public, it is illegal and strictly prohibited to snorkel or scuba dive in Pearl Harbor, specifically around the sunken USS Arizona and other active memorial sites. Because Pearl Harbor is a highly active military base and an official hallowed war grave, public access is heavily restricted for the following reasons. The USS Arizona entombs the remains of over 900 sailors and Marines. The waters surrounding it are treated with the utmost solemnity, I can't say that word properly, to save my life, and are legally protected as a military cemetery. Recreational diving or snorkeling is not permitted. Access to the waters directly around the wrecks is restricted entirely to official personnel such as National Park Service marine archaeologists, military divers conducting annual maintenance and inspections, and divers interring the remains of surviving veterans who request to be laid to rest with their fallen shipmates. While rare exceptions have been made over the years for select government or military dignities, these are official, invitation-only excursions and are not open to the tourists. To tourists, I should say. So, is it legal? Generally speaking, no, it's not. Can the federal government make exceptions for people like the FBI director? Yes, they can. And clearly they did in this case. But what you said was that the legality of the subject is the only question that should come into play. So whether it's morally correct is not something we should discuss. Whether it's the right thing to do is not something we should discuss. I tend to disagree. Now, I don't have anybody in my family that lost their life at Pearl Harbor. I do have a grandfather that fought in World War II, was in the Navy. And I could tell you, I find it to be incredibly distasteful. And would you guys have no problem with James Comey doing it? See, when I approach it from that standpoint, when I say, what if an FBI director that was appointed by a Democrat did it? What if an FBI director that was appointed by any other president did it? Would you guys be okay with it? And I'm not saying you're a MAGA. I'm saying you guys, to the MAGA folks out there, would you guys be okay with it? That the people who are making excuses for this. Was it legal for them to grant him an exception so he could snorkel among the ruins, among the remains of so many of our fallen? Yeah, they could legally do it. Was it the right thing to do? Far from it. And you know that. You know that this is a question of morality, of dignity, of honor, of respect. Something that this administration and the people that work for this administration have shown zero of for the men and women in uniform. They don't honor, respect, or listen. There are so many words that are running through my head that I can't say. But at the end of the day, if we're talking man to man, human to human, person to person, you know goddamn well what I'm saying. What Kash Patel did at Pearl Harbor was disrespectful to the people that lost their lives there and the families of the fallen there. It was shameful. And you know it was shameful. And to make any excuse based on legality is almost as disgusting.